Howdy everybody, welcome back to the NESGameMaker. So last time we put together the experience drop system and the item drop system, some spawners for our enemies, and various other effects and stuff. So this time we're going to finish up a few last miscellaneous items, such as setting up the GUI, another spawner for the Moblin, and some other things like room transition. And that should prepare us to leave our tiny little palace and head off to a brand new world, the overworld. So let's get cracking on that. So coming over here to our enemies, we're going to need to create another spawner here. We're going to call this object and let's see, this would be the actually the mob. No, not mob impelled spear. It's got to scroll up the list here. Yeah. Okay, spawner moblin object spawner underscore moblin. And you'll note that I have spawner here first on this one, kind of like how I typically go enemy first, and then so I try to write things with the thing they have in common first. So the first thing that's most in common is everything is an object. Then they're an enemy. Then they're a bot, or they're a dealer or whatever. So I try to keep the most common things in front. That way, if you wanted to do a procedural generation of a item or something, you could then say drop item, object item, droppable item, candy bar, and or pixie stick or whatever, and you can kind of makes it easier for creating procedural systems. So for some reason, I didn't do that with these guys, but yeah, here I am with this guy. Just kind of bringing that to your attention. It's kind of a useful feature that you should work to implement in your own stuff because, as I said, it makes it really easy for doing procedural stuff. All right, so every 3 to 6 seconds, we're going to spawn ourselves a moblin. So we got here is if spawn timer is less than or equal to 0, then spawn timer is equal to this again. I didn't bother setting up a random range because I didn't bother setting up a timer limit because this isn't a fixed timer, it's a random range. Then what we do here is we get the camera's X position. So if we're in the room here, we're looking at Link, then our X position of our camera is over here at 230 right there, or 229 or whatever. Then if my X does not equal 0, so if I'm not all the way at the left side of the screen, and my X is less than the room width minus the object camera.view width, so if we're not all the way at the right side of the screen, so if we're not on the left or the right side of the screen, then we want to spawn an enemy. So instances is create layer x plus object camera dot view with. So what I'm doing here? So if I'm not on the either edge of the room, then choose either the left or the right side of the camera. Spawn an enemy at that position on the enemy's layer of the moblin type. Very simple, right? And instance.facing direction, make sure our moblin is facing the right direction when he spawns by making sure that he faces link underscore inst.x is equal to xx. So if I've spawned him on the left side of the screen, then send me right, otherwise send me left. And walk speed again is if left to right side of the screen, 1 or -1, because Moblin has literally no AI. He just moves left to right. the easiest enemy in the game. Then countdown. If spawn timer is greater than -1, then spawn timer is equal to approach spawn timer to -1 by 1. So, just spawn timer minus minus. I don't think it really matters going through all this trouble to try to make it precise here, but what's one frame left or right of the actual result if you're looking at weird precision errors? It's not going to make a difference on this matter. So, anyways, Moblin spawner done. That's easy. So let's go over here to Link, and we are going to create the GUI here because the GUI is GUI, and you know that's no GUI. Oh, okay, yes, that's no Gouda. No, that's no GUI. Okay, so we currently have our Link object drawing a bunch of debug stuff, which we don't really need anymore because, well, we're done building him. So I'm just going to control the K that for the moment. What we want to do here is build out our GUI. So what we're going to do first is set up our font. Global.font, FA left, FA top, C white 1. Draw the extra health and magic container. So one of the things that our GUI is going to do is going down to our sprites here. And we come over to our GUI sprites and we say sprites stats bar. So we have this nicely pre-prepared sprite of the GUI, and we can then just fill in the stuff that actually varies underneath each one of these things. Which is the really nice thing about the modern system versus the original system. All this stuff had to be made by hand, but we can just take a lot of this stuff and turn it into a sprite and place it wherever, and it's done. So, anyways, we got our font set up. We're going to draw our extra health and magic containers. So, if we have if we are, so let's come over here to our save data real quick. Our base save, we have health containers and magic containers, which is how many extras we have. So, if we have any extras, we want to draw a container box. So we come over here, draw health bar, 4 var I equals 0, while I is less than the amount that we have, then I plus plus. Draw sprite, magic container at 0, 72 plus. Remember, this is all on the GUI layer, so we pretty much are working from 0 to 256, and it's all very easy to position things because we're using the GUI layer. So we know that the 72, so at x72, that gets us down to right there. So we know that we're going to draw a new box right here of the type Sprite Magic Container. And the same thing again with the health container. We're going to use that X position there, draw an extra container. And we use I times 8 to move the position of the extra containers as we go through the system. And this is just a very standard for loop system here, so you should know how to do that pretty easily by now. So in this case, each pip is being represented as 2 HP MP, maximally totaling a possible maximum of 128. I thought this was kind of stupid because you could only fit 64 pips into the health bar versus the entire thing, but I set everything up as 64, and then I realized later on, oh yeah, well, in Legend of Zelda, they don't bother with showing you the one. You could have 1 HP, and it'll look like you have 0 HP on the bar. So, but it'll just it just doesn't show you when you have low HP or anything like that. So just it's not granular in the system, but anyway. So for our current save data, so our current MP and HP again. So we have our current HP when we first start is set to maximum HP, which is 38 plus 8 times health containers and magic containers. So we say we have draw sprite pip at 39 plus I times 1. That'll move us over 1. Draw another pip, move us over another 1. Draw another pip. Same deal as the magic containers, you know. And draw our skill levels. So again, this is very easy. Just take our information about our attack level, magic level, health level, etc. Add 1, because remember we're starting at 0. We're 0 indexed in here, but the displayed amount should be +1. The reason why we're 0 indexed is because then that makes it easier so that when we're at attack level 1, we don't get any boost to our attack, and when we're at attack level 2, we get a boost of 1 to our attack, and so on and so forth. You know. So, again, we're just using the sprite to position everything, so that's very easy. And draw current XP to the nearest upgrade, etc. So we have the, so this is somewhat more complicated at this point because we need to figure out how much experience is required to reach our next level up and stuff like this. So we have here a string global current save data dot current XP. So what is our current XP? So you remember when we're killing enemies, we'll have our XP versus our target XP versus our current XP, and then we say string repeat 0 4 minus string length of string. So what we're doing here is we're adding up to 4 zeros to this position here. So if we are at 0 XP, then we'll add 1, 2, 3 extra zeros to that 0. So 4 minus string length. Uh, Strings are 1 indexed, so that's why we're using 4 instead of 3, and that'll get us 3 extra zeros for our leading zeros. Same thing right here. Then we draw text string 2, which is our manufactured current XP. Our string 1, again, same thing, except now we're using exp2 next, which is something that we will calculate inside of our when we get level up. We'll calculate that kind of stuff. Maybe I should do leveling up before we actually get to going to the overworld. That might be important to do. Finally, last but not least, we draw the actual stat bar sprite over everything at position 0, 0. So let's make sure that actually worked properly. All right, Link, do your stuff. And oh shoot, I just realized I'm using the bad headphones. You'd think I'd recognize the fact that my good headphones are laying right here in front of me. The reason why I don't like using the bad headphones is because they make they make my voice bad in recording. So plus I can't hear anything. There we go, perfect. So we got our health, we got our attack level, our magic level, our life level, our 1, 2, 3 additional zeros on each one of those, and a 50 plus 2 leading zeros. All right, so we got magic, life, it's all good. One thing that didn't happen is when we killed that little guy, we didn't gain any experience from doing so. See? So we got to figure out why that's happening. So let's come back to our bits here, or bot, doesn't matter which one. Make sure that when we kill it, or actually, it wouldn't even be here. This would be the item dropping death explosion. As remember, the experience drop is here at this point. So if experience does not equal 0, then it creates a experience drop. And when that's created, experience is whatever we moved on to it. The step event is once our time to live is dead. Then we set our target experience plus equal experience. Oh, that's right. But we haven't actually set up a system that moves our current experience towards our target experience yet. So let's go look into that. Target under experience. Where in the world do I even do that in here? Link side scrolling 204. Okay, yeah, that's right. So if we come over to our link side scrolling and we go over here to the step event now, we had all this fun stuff right here, right? Let's see, what line is that? That's line 204. Okay, that it was just not showing up because it was scrolled too far down. So let's move all this out of the way here for a moment, make it easier to see. We have to go here into our step event, Control M to close everything. We have our experience handling section, which currently has nothing in it. So what are we going to do when we actually take experience? So you want to first off create a capture for this. So if our current XP does not equal the target XP, then we're going to do some stuff with the XP. I actually do all this inside of link side scrolling because, well, that's again what they did in the actual Legend of Zelda game. Because he's only supposed to be able to do experience stuff when he's in the side scrolling position. And if you jump through a portal into the overworld, then basically your experience grabbing will pause until the next time we go into the underworld. So get ourselves some information here and make that a little bit bigger. So if our mount, so what is a mount here? Ensure and always positive value is greater than 1. So what I do here is maximum of 1 or the ABS of the round of our time. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're trying to say how much experience we want to show. So if our target experience minus our current experience. So let's say our target experience is 50 and our current experience is 1. So 50 minus 1 would give us 49. And the round ensures that we are at we don't go into fractional values, which we shouldn't anyways, times 0.1. Oh, wait, no, wait. We times that by 0.1. So we have 49. So that case, we have 4.9 would be our value at this point. Then, and the round that and ABS that, and then set it into the max of 1 or this value so we don't end up going to 0. And that's the amount that's going to be applied to our current XP. So then we say global.current save data.current XP is equal to approach my current XP to either the target XP or 9,999. So by the amount given. So basically, it's a lerp. So you could use lerp there instead if you prefer. But I think I like the system I set up. It seemed to looked fairly nice. But this is basically 10% lerp. I should have just done that. That's exactly what I have here. Oh well. You come up with a complicated system thinking you're doing so great, and then later on you come out to it and you realize I could have done this so much easier. So at this point, then we want to check for a level up. You have global.current save data.current XP. So as we move our experience higher, then we want to check and see if we've reached or exceeded our experience to next. If we have, then if object transition manager.mode is equal to transmode.off, so we don't want to accidentally trigger a level up while we're still in the middle of the room transition, because that doesn't look very nice. So as soon as the transition into the room is over, then I mean we could. I don't know if I don't know if the experience continues to count up during the transition as well, but that's the way I had it set up. So instance create layer, menus, object level up menu. So we start this off outside of the view for some reason. I don't think it matters too much. I think it was mostly to prevent flickering or something from the drawing possibly being messed up or something. So we come over here to our menus and well, not menus, object level up menu. Menu objects, object level up menu. And I think we'll actually leave it at this point because we're at 21 minutes here. So that's a good time to step it off here. So we'll leave that up to your mind how the level up menu is going to work until next time. And then we will, I think that's about everything. So thank you everybody for joining me. Next time we will probably set up the level up menu and then do our room transition, I believe, at that point. So thank you everybody for coming, and I'm going to let Past Me take it away with some Patreon names. I'd like to thank my legacy Patreon sponsors who supported me last season during the hiatus: Jens Burton, JD Lowe, Suli, and Vazia. I'd of course also like to extend my thanks to my current Patreon sponsors: Kenneth Klein, Confusion, Jamal, Fernando, Sergez, and lastly, Amy. Thank you everybody for supporting the NES Game Maker. You really help it all happen. And remember, good luck with your program.